In my opinion, Fresh Air Catalyst is highly underrated. It has amazing boons while still providing a lot of damage and actually quite a lot of sustain. It's an ideal ranked spec. I'm Surma, and today we're gonna take a look at this incredible build. So you're a light armor class and you have a low health pool, but you're still running Berserker Amulet because that's just how the meta currently is. So you have so much damage and you just want to kill your enemies before they kill you. That's the only thing. And you have quite a lot of defense in your skills and traits. So you want to pair that with the Rune of the Warrior, the Berserker Amulet, just to get some vitality here. So that your life pool is not almost just as low as 10k, so it's above 14k. You can swap that for something else. If you want to go for more aggressive options, you could go for Revenant. Revenant Rune provides you a little bit more damage here, but most of the time that's not, I think, the way to go, especially in ranked. For the Relic, you always want to run Relic of Fireworks. You have so many skills that can proc this, and then you get, for the next 6 seconds, you get 10% increased damage, which is huge on a DPS build like this. Of course, you want to run Scepter Focus with Cleansing and Energy just for the defense, and so your Focus is your defensive weapon, and then your Scepter is the really aggressive one that pairs extremely well with your Fresh Air trait, which we get to now. So you run Fresh Air Catalyst, of course, with Air, Arcane and Catalyst. So in Air you get some movement speed increase, some crit chance, really nice. You get some electric discharge when you swap to Air. That's really important that it triggers on the target that you currently have, and it's actually quite nice because it sets up your burst. So this is actually a really important trait because it will apply vulnerability, and you can, let's say, set up the burst with this. Then you get Ferocity and more Ferocity while you are tuned to Air. And that's important because you should try to land your burst while you are in Air so that you get value out of this additional Ferocity. Of course, like every element trait line in Elementalist, you get recharge reduction from in Air with this. Then you get super speed when you are tuned to Air with the Fresh Air trait, which will recharge your air attunement whenever you crit when you're not in Air. This is really important because you get so much access to super speed because you have so much swapping into Air going on that you can kite quite easily with this and even chase. You also get Ferocity for 5 seconds, so you have even more Ferocity when you swap to Air. Be aware that this is really important. And then you get some Fury when you crit strike a throw, and you will strike them quite a lot. And therefore you have really high uptime of Fury, and you get even more Ferocity when you have Fury, so that's really important. So it's really aggressive, this trade line, but the super speed helps you as defensive as well. Arcane is just a must on most Elementalist builds, so we get some nice Fury when you switch attunements. So together with this trade you have a lot of Fury uptime. Then you get some Vigor, 50% uptime when you don't get corrupted. That's really strong. Because of course dodge is one of the most important defensive skills you have. Then you get some boons depending on what element you swap to. The protection is the most notable one here. Really important because you don't have any toughness. Then your elite skill will get enhanced. So every time you use your elite skill, you will also get a block three times. It's really good. Then you get some concentration, and your attunement swap is recharged. This is really important as well. Not for the Air attunement, but for the other attunements. And then depending on what element you are in, when you finish your dodge roll in combat, you will get a skill effect. The most important one is the heal on water, but also the blast finisher in earth, which is really important to combo with your fields. You have a lot of fields, so you can, for example, stealth with a thief, or you can heal yourself in a water field. You can even apply area weakness. And the air dodge can also be helpful to some extent if you AoE blind. But most of the time water and earth is the most important one. So Catalyst, you get access to your spheres. You get energy when you swap attunements and get some might. Nice. Get some additional stats just from being in combat. Nice, you get some more attributes. Then you get some really strong boons, for example, resistance and vigor from being in your sphere, also for your allies. It's quite nice. And that's the really important trait. Whenever you combo in with your, let's say, with any skill, depending on the attunement you're currently in, you get an aura. And this is once, let's say, every 10 seconds per element. So you can get a lot of auras by doing this. The most important one, of course, shocking aura and magnetic aura for the reflects. So those are really strong. So in earth, you get magnetic aura, and in air, if you combo, you get shocking aura. This is also at the moment of the combo. So if you start casting an earth blast finisher and swap into fire, you will get the fire aura when the blast finisher is activated. So that's really important. And then every time you apply an aura, you get stability. 1 second, that doesn't seem that much, but it's really strong because you can get a lot of auras with Catalyst, with this trait. And you get even elemental empowerment when you get an aura, so some nice stats as well. So that's it for the traits. By the way, if you want to see more build guides like this, don't forget to subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And now to the skills. So for the healing skill, as you have so many spells that you cast instantly or really fast, you get a lot of healing by using the Signet of Restoration. Never activate it, because most of the time if you activate it, you will die after that, so just don't activate it. Then Lightning Flash, it's not a stun break, but it deals damage, so you can use it to remove a blind, but most of the time it's a disengage tool, a reposition tool. And you have a stun break here, Armor of Earth. It has a rather long cooldown, but it will give you stability and protection as well, and there's some barrier, which is really nice. So it's a really good panic button. If you want to get out of, let's say, a ring of a guardian or a wall, you can get over the stability that is required. So you can get stun break and then walk out of the ring or whatever. And then you have a nice block. Be aware this is not a stun break, so if you don't have stability and you get CC'd, you can't use it, but if you can use it to block some really good skills. And if you cast it in the Earth Sphere, the recharge is reduced, which is also really nice. And if you complete the channel successfully, which is most of the time the case, if you don't get interrupted the unblockable CC, you get some nice barrier as well. Really good. As a medium cooldown. And then you have Elemental Celerity. It will recharge your current equipped weapon skills, so the current element that you are in, by 25 seconds. This is almost all skills are fully recharged except your Obsidian Flesh. And then you also get a boon depending on the element you're in. This is really strong. The reason for this is that you can do your burst again, you can get your heal again, whatever you in the current situation need. And the boon is also quite nice because all of them are really useful. So that's it for the utility skills. And you have a nice weapon skills here in air. That's your, let's say, most of the time you want to swap to air after every element because you proc the fresh air traits and you get a lot of value, and you want to be in air to deal damage because you get the ferocity buffs here. So 2-3 is always the combo, because then you get not only vulnerability, but you will also get the weakness from this and the blind. So you get some nice, always swap to air, do this 2 skills because they're instant, and while you do this, you can do something else. That's your deflect, it will block projectiles. This is a really, really strong skill. It's a single target, but it's a unblockable CC of 3 seconds knockdown. So if you can land this on a blocking warrior or something that doesn't have stability, it's most likely a kill if they don't have a stun break. Then your other aggressive weapon element is fire. Dragon's Tooth, it is a blast finish after shot delay, and it would follow the target and deal some heavy damage. Then you have your Phoenix, which is really overloaded. If it gives you vigor, it removes a condition. It's a blast finish, it's unblockable, it deals a lot of damage, and it's a projectile that moves, so be aware. Really good. So if you cast it really close to you, it's almost instant, but if you cast it far away from you, it will move and deal some damage on the way, but it's slower. Then your Firewall, yes, to stack some might, but not the burning is important. Then some nice stability access instant on your Fire Aura Other than that, it's not that important. You get some might if you transmute it. Then on water, you have a really low recharge 2 skill that chills and deals some nice damage AoE. Then on water, most of the time you want to roast the 3 skill because that's a nice heal if you hit it. You have some long range chill, and you have a nice daze that is also a blast finisher when it lands. So your water skills are not that amazing. Your other, let's say, weapons would be better, but the water trident is actually quite strong. And then on earth, the last element, we have some really strong skills here. That's why you also want to run focus most of the time. So you have some nice rock barrier that you get when you activate the skill once, which gives you toughness, barrier and resistance shortly. And then for 30 seconds you can use the hurl skill, which will deal some heavy damage and is a projectile finisher 100% of the time. So you can use that in your spheres. And then you have a nice blind. You have a instant cast blast finisher that is also on reflect for the next 3 seconds, and it will remove conditions. 3. It's really good. And then you get Obsidian Flash, which is 3 seconds invulnerability, but you are casting it so you can't cast other skills, but you still can go to air, for example, and use your instant cast abilities, for example. So that's really strong. And your spheres are also instant. That will give some nice boons. The most important one here is the quickness in air and the resistance in earth, but and of course the protection. But they also are combo fields. So the earth one is a poison field, can be useful for weakness, for example, if you blast it. The fire one is a fire field, of course. The water one is a water field, of course, which is really nice for getting some healing out, even for allies. And the air one is a lightning field, which is really good if you combo it, for example, with your hurl, because it will apply vulnerability, for example, as well. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave a like. If you want to see more guides like this, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.